The Premier League is widely seen as the best league in the world by the majority of fans, players and managers alike, so naturally it's the dream destination for any aspiring coach. The division brings in the most money from TV and commercial deals of any league in the world, while the owners in charge of the 20 clubs are some of the wealthiest people on the planet. As a result, Premier League players and managers are paid far better than in any other division across world football. Therefore, the 20 managerial jobs available at any one time are highly sought after, and those chosen by each club must perform at all times. If they don't, alternatives will be turned to very quickly in a bid to improve results. Ultimately, the shelf life of a Premier League manager is incredibly short. Managers are constantly linked with being sacked, and keeping their job for an extended period has become very difficult. The longest-serving current Premier League manager is Pep Guardiola. He joined Manchester City in July 2016 and he guided the club to their fourth consecutive league title during the 2023-24 season. The Spaniard signed a contract extension in November 2024 after rumors of an exit in 2025. Jurgen Klopp was previously the longest-serving English top-flight boss, but he left Liverpool in 2024 after 8.5 years at the club. He was replaced by Arne Slot. Thomas Frank, Brentford, is the second longest-serving Premier League manager, while Mikel Arteta, Arsenal, is third. Mauricio Pochettino, Chelsea, Roberto De Zerbi, Brighton and Hove Albion, David Moyes, West Ham United, and the aforementioned Klopp, Liverpool, all left their respective clubs following the conclusion of the 2023-24 campaign. Julen Lopetegui was appointed as Moyes' replacement at West Ham, less than a year after he left Wolverhampton Wanderers just days before the start of the 2023-24 Premier League season. After leading Leicester City to promotion, Enzo Maresca was appointed as Chelsea's new head coach on a 5-year deal with the option for a further season. He was replaced at the King Power Stadium by former Nottingham Forest and England U17 manager Steve Cooper. With De Zerbi leaving, Brighton turned to St. Pauli's Fabian Hürzeler and soon appointed the German as their new head coach. He became the youngest manager in Premier League history when Brighton played Everton in their 2024-25 opener. Kieran McKenna and Russell Martin led Ipswich Town and Southampton to promotion from the Championship, while Rob Edwards, Vincent Kompany and Chris Wilder are no longer Premier League managers after their relegations with Luton Town, Burnley and Sheffield United respectively. Kompany was appointed as Thomas Tuchel's successor at Bayern following Burnley's relegation. Man United boss Erik ten Hag was the first manager to lose his job in 2024-25, with his inevitable sacking coming on October 28 after overseeing the Red Devils' worst-ever start to a Premier League season. The Ineos' own site announced on November 1 that Sporting CP mastermind Ruben Amorim would replace interim coach Ruud van Nistelrooy starting from November 11. The Portuguese tactician penned a 3-year contract with the option for a further season. A month after Ten Hag was relieved of his duties, Leicester pulled the trigger on Steve Cooper after a 2-1 loss to Chelsea. He was replaced by the aforementioned Van Nistelrooy, with the Dutchman finding a new job almost immediately after leaving Man United. The busy December period saw two struggling clubs make managerial changes. Wolves sacked Gary O'Neill and Southampton released Russell Martin on. The former was replaced by Al-Shabaab manager Vitor Pereira, while Ivan Juric joined Southampton despite a catastrophic spell at Roma. Zurich then departed St Mary's after confirmation of their relegation in April. West Ham sacked the aforementioned Lopetegui on January 8 after a start to the season that was well below expectations following a summer outlay of over €140 million. Former Chelsea manager Graham Potter replaced Lopetegui, thus marking his return to the Premier League almost 2 years after his sacking at Stamford Bridge. January 2025 also saw Everton sack Sean Dyche and replace him with David Moyes, who previously spent 11 years in charge of the Toffees between 2002 and 2013. While no club has yet to sack 2 managers this season, both Amorim and Van Nistelrooy already find themselves under pressure in their respective jobs, underlining the pressure and the demand for instant success they face. Which Premier League managers were sacked in 2023-24? Only 3 managers were sacked during the 2023-24 season, a huge decrease from the 14 who lost their jobs in 2022-23. As mentioned, Lopetegui left Wolves before the start of the campaign, so he hasn't been included in this list. Paul Heckingbottom was the first manager to be sacked during the 2023-24 season as Sheffield United pulled the trigger after an embarrassing 5-0 loss to fellow promoted side Burnley on 5 December. Chris Wilder returned to the club to replace him in the dugout. Nottingham Forest's Steve Cooper was the next to be sacked, with Nuno Espirito Santo replacing him at the City Ground. The final manager to be dismissed during the campaign was Roy Hodgson. Crystal Palace opted to sack the veteran coach in February and he was succeeded by Oliver Glasner. The ex-Eintracht Frankfurt boss led Palace to a 10th place finish with a stellar end to the season. Pochettino, De Zerbi, Moyes and Klopp all left after the conclusion of 2023-24. Managers sacked in the 2023-24 Premier League season. Club manager date of exit Sheffield United Paul Heckingbottom 5 December Nottingham Forest Steve Cooper 19 December Crystal Palace Roy Hodgson 19 February